Hey everyone, Dumont Owen here. I wanted to hop on just a minute early because there's a worksheet that you can download to go with this. You don't necessarily need it, it's just a notes taking sheet, but it can act like a guide. So if you'd like the worksheet, I just dropped the link in the chat and we can go from there. So first of all, and hey Janine, I'm so glad to see you on today. Those of you who have not made yourself known, if you would like to put something in the chat and tell me who you are and where you're coming from, that would be great. Or you can put in a question if you have a question that you'd like me to answer. And today I have my wonderful assistant and partner in life, my husband Chuck, in the background. So if you have questions, he can see those questions and he can also drop some links that I want you to have. So the first thing I want you to know is that if you if you stay until the end, I have a gift for you, a free gift that you can download. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that as we go through. But today our topic is personal branding. And those of you who have known me for a while know that I'm a master strategist, a master personal brand strategist, and I also have training in digital marketing. So between the two of those, there's a whole lot of brand stuff going on, and if you are in the B2B or even B2C areas, LinkedIn is very likely going to have your ideal clients. There are over 900 million people on LinkedIn now, and they are rolling out changes so quickly that it's really morphing into something else, and it's all really exciting news. So today what I want to do is I'm going to show you some things that are coming up, and then we're going to talk all about branding, what it is, what makes a really compelling brand, what it consists of, and then I'm going to tell you a few more things about how you can get some help with that. So with that said, I am going to, let's see. It wants to do that, and I don't want it to use that form. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. I wanted to make the slides a little bit larger. If you are listening, if you are not watching this, know that there's a worksheet that goes with it. And actually, you should be able to follow everything that I'm selling without that. This is a good introduction to how to promote your brand on LinkedIn. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to go over with you today is some coming events, because there's some really cool stuff coming in. And then we're going to talk about the LinkedIn Social Selling Index, known as the SSI. And I'm going to show you how to check it, what it tells you, and why it's so important if you're building your business on LinkedIn. We're also going to talk about what exactly a personal brand is, and then 10 ways to promote your brand on LinkedIn. And then I have a special gift for you at the end to help you build a client attracting profile, because that's what it's all about, right? So let's get started. Oh, it's not letting me do that. Here we go. All right. So coming events, I wanted to touch on this because there are two things coming up that are really, really cool. One is Collaborate. And I think I have the wrong link there. I'm also going to send all of you the free link, but this link will get you to Collaborate. Collaborate is an event that's going on this weekend. It starts on Friday and goes through Saturday and Sunday. Some of you have heard me talk about this before. This was the event that turned my business around. I mean, it really did, because at Collaborate, you learn how to talk to other business owners and arrange to have deals with them where you'll promote each other and help each other as promotional partners. And I will tell you, I'm going to go again today, or this weekend. I never miss this event because I have never failed to walk away with at least 5 people that I really wanted to connect with, that either we could collaborate on a project together. And there are some people that I've met at Collaborate that we are now partnering on some things with. You can also promote each other's events. So at Collaborate, they will teach you how to do it. And then you're put in rooms with a few other people who have the same niche you do, who are trying to reach the same clients that you are. And you get to practice your pitch and make your deals. Now, why is that important? Well, it's really important to be in the group that has your same niche. And here's why. I work in the world of personal branding and social media. That's my area of expertise. And I work primarily with coaches and consultants and some other professional services providers, but mostly coaches and consultants. So when I go to Collaborate, I'm looking for people who have the same audience, but they offer something different. So let's say I go to Collaborate on Friday and I'm telling people all about my course, The Lucrative LinkedIn System. And I'll tell them, how much it sells for, what the commission is that I offer my partners, and we really work some things out. So Collaborate is really that time to do it, because if I go and I'm in branding and somebody else that I meet with is in, say, book publishing, well, there might be a way, because those two things can cross-pollinate. People who are interested in branding and in LinkedIn are also interested in publishing books, right? Or at least a lot of them are. So that way I would have someone that I could collaborate with, promote some of their things, they could promote some of my things, and we would all get more clients. And that's the key, because anytime you're promoting a program and you have JV partners, joint venture partners, those people are going to bring in about 80% of the people who are registered in your program. So really, really important. The second thing is next Wednesday at noon, I will be doing Close More Sales on LinkedIn Without Feeling Pushy, Phony, or Manipulative. And I have the link there, and I'm going to ask my lovely assistant, Chuck, if he will drop the links to Collaborate and to the Close More Sales on LinkedIn in the chat. And I will also send all of this out to you. Everybody who signed up today, if this is not the right link to Collaborate, if this is the one, there's a free link. And then if you want to be in the rooms and present to people, oh, thank you, Chuck, for dropping that. There's a free link if you just want to watch. There's an upsell of, I think, $47 if you want to actually be in the rooms and do pitching. And I would suggest get the free one, sign up for the free one, and then watch a little bit and see whether you want to participate. I'm not going to urge you to participate in something that's just going to be taking up time for you. So if you're ready to do something like this, this is going to be a great opportunity. Okay, next topic, the LinkedIn Social Selling Index. I apologize for the bold. That's kind of in your face. But the LinkedIn Social Selling Index is an index published by LinkedIn every week. And it tells you how well you are performing the activities that you need to do in order to sell on LinkedIn. They call that social selling on social media. And it does work a little bit differently than it does in person. However, when you think about some of the mantras that we've learned over the years, like, what is sales? Well, that's getting people to know, like, and trust you. They have to know you and like you and trust you before they'll buy from you. Okay, so that's one of the things that we've known all, and that's still the same thing. It's still the same thing on LinkedIn. People still need to know, like, and trust you before they're going to buy from you, right? Unless it's like a $47 ebook or something, but they're not going to plop down serious cash unless they really trust you, right? So this is how you do it. The LinkedIn Social Selling Index, and my lovely assistant Chuck is going to drop this in this link in the chat for you. There are 4 indices, okay? And each of these is worth 25 points on the Social Selling Index. This gets updated once a week, so you can literally go in and check out how well you're doing with things and make some changes and do something a little bit differently and see if it raises your score. 4 indices. The first one is establish your professional brand. And that's what we're talking about today. So LinkedIn thinks that's really important. Okay. That's one of the 4 things that are going to help you make sales. So right there at the top, establishing your professional personal brand. The second indices is finding the right people. And that means, how well are you prospecting? How well are you digging down and finding the exact people who are going to want your services? You know, that's a whole nother skill. Then there's engage with insights. Now this one, I can remember when they first put this up, people were going, what exactly does that mean? Well, it means engaging with content that other people are publishing in the news feed. Now, why is that important? It's important because, number one, that's how you get people's attention. Number two, it helps them understand who you are and get to know you a little bit better. So when you're engaging with insights, I'm going to tell you a little strategy. This is how you can connect with new people. Pick out, do a search, find 10 of the people that would be your ideal clients. They are your dream clients, okay? And I want you to go to their profile, invite them to connect. And then first of all, I want you to go and oh, you can't do that. Okay, you can follow them. I want you to follow them. And when you follow them, you can then see some of the things they've posted. Because what you want to do is comment on their posts. They're going to notice you. If I put this out and you comment on it and say, Dumont, this was fabulous. This was great. I really appreciate it. By the way, I have a question. I'm going to notice you, right? Number one, I like being flattered. We all do. But number two, you ask me a question that I can then respond to, because LinkedIn really looks at how you're responding to other people and how you're reaching out to other people. So that's a very important piece. And then finally, there's building relationships. That's nurturing the people in your network so that they get to know your name and you're the first person they think of when they want to hire someone in your field. So 4 indices, each one is worth 25 points. And LinkedIn says that people who are doing a good job of social selling will have a score of 70 or above. Now, mine usually hovers in the mid to high 80s, but that's because I'm on LinkedIn all the time. You can still get it up to 70, and you can go in and check that once a week and just see, is it higher when you go and you comment on people's post in the feed? And I'm going to tell you right now, it will go up. So this is how you really build relationships on LinkedIn. Okay, so what is a personal brand? Because we're talking about branding. I like William Arruda's definition. William is the person who certified me in personal branding, and he describes it as a unique promise of value. It's unique because because you're the only you in the entire world, right? We all know that none of us have the same fingerprint. None of us, have the same irises, the same eye pattern. So each of us is unique. There's no one else like us. And a personal brand emphasizes that thing about you which is unique, because here's what we know. People do not buy you because you're the absolute best. There are 900 million people on LinkedIn. There's a good chance somebody is as good as you or even perhaps better. But that's not what you're doing. You're differentiating from them, because people don't buy because you're the best. They buy because you're different. They're kind of different, so one of the things that you want to do with your LinkedIn profile is let people get to know you and see what is unique about you. Now, the second piece of a personal brand is promise, and that refers to authenticity. You are always authentic. From seeing them. I mean, you've seen enough trash in the news feed and in invitations to connect that you recognize when someone's being authentic or they're not, or they're really so good at pulling the wool over people's eyes. But that doesn't happen very much because authenticity shows through. Okay. And then the final piece of a personal brand is value. It provides value. And, the best strategy, or one of the best strategies I can teach you about LinkedIn, is being generous, is generosity. Because really, LinkedIn is set up in such a way that the more you give away, the more you get. Now, that sounds a little weird, but when you share your wisdom with other people, they recognize that and they get into dialogues with you to dig down and find that value. Now, what I want to emphasize about value is that it's all about relevance, okay? If you are providing somebody, like, let's say I just connected with you and I write back and I say, hey, here's a copy of my LinkedIn roadmap. And you don't really want a copy of my LinkedIn roadmap, then you're not going to receive that. You're not going to perceive that as my being generous. You're going to perceive it as spam. I just gave you something that you have no use for. And so why would you keep up with me? So instead of giving someone a lead magnet right off the bat, here's what I suggest. After you've accepted their invitation, in your welcome message, write back, thank them for accepting, and do that. And then you might say something like, I have a spreadsheet that's a metrics. I have a metrics tracker for LinkedIn, and people in your industry, in the coaching industry, have told me that they find this helpful. If you'd like a copy, just respond yes, and I'll get the link to you, so that I am not spamming them. I'm not giving them anything they want, anything they don't want. And I can say after that, don't want it, can't use it, no problem. Because then I'm going to come back in another 3 months and say, okay, you didn't like the LinkedIn roadmap, but I saw this article that reminded me of you because it's a big change in your industry. Would you like to receive it? So that you are constantly offering value, and that value is relevant to the problems and challenges of your ideal client. If it's not relevant, it's not value, it's spam. Okay, so what goes into a personal brand? Lots of stuff, okay? And I am not going to go into brand assessment today, but at the end of the month, my last, let's see, so it would be, hold on, I'm going to pull my calendar here. On the 31st, I'm having, no, not on the, on the 31st, I'm having a 3-hour workshop on how to build your brand. So I will be sending that information out to you. But these are the things that go in it. Your goals, what is it that you want to achieve? And your goal, if you want to change the lives of 10,000 teenagers through your new book, then know that that's your goal and know what's involved in that and what you need to do. Your vision, what is it that you want to see in the world You know, what do you want to see happen? Maybe you want to see, if you're a coach, maybe you want to help 1,000 people better their careers, or transition to careers that are fulfilling and both financially and in terms of way in life and all that. And then your purpose is what you're doing specifically. So, you know, your vision is to see coaches succeed in this area. Your purpose is to help them come up with a plan, you know, a business plan or something. Okay, it's also your values. And I'm not talking about those kinds of transitional values, you know, like, you know, when I was a teenager, I valued being able to stay out until 11 o'clock. That is no longer one of my primary values. I'm talking about your core values, those lines that you will not cross. For instance, I have a core value of, I value strong relationships built on mutual respect and trust. That is a core value. It's a place that I don't cross the line. Okay, we also look at your passions. What interests you? What makes you jump out of bed in the morning? You know, what is it that really excites you? Your strengths, and here we can talk about your superpowers, right? Maybe you're really good at getting two different kinds of people to communicate. Maybe you're an engineer who can teach people how to talk, engineers how to talk with marketing departments, okay? Or maybe you're an accountant who's particularly gifted at being able to deliver the bad news. You know, so whatever it is, whatever that superpower is. And then finally, your personality characteristics. You know, we have a saying, flaunt your quirks. You know, people will gravitate towards you. People will work with you, remember, because you're different. And so you're defining what that difference is. For instance, I have kind of a dry sense of humor. Sometimes people could say a snarky sense of humor. And that's one of my personality characteristics. So if you don't appreciate humor, or at least my brand of humor, then you probably wouldn't want to work with me. So those things that people really like. Maybe you are very, very linear, and you can take people through a particular process clearly, so that they don't have to worry about the steps. You've got it all laid out for them. So whatever those personality characteristics are, whether you're linear or whether you're really humorous, maybe you're spiritual, maybe you are really great at training, whatever those super strengths and those personality characteristics are. Okay, so what makes a strong brand? Well, first of all, it's absolutely clear. A seventh grader should be able to understand what you're saying. If they have to ask you to explain it, it's not clear enough yet. It's authentic. It really reflects who you are at a deep and authentic level. Authenticity refers to who you are in the world, in spirit, in your work, all those things. You are the same person. You have the same values. You have the same goals. You have the same personality characteristics. You may be applying them in some place differently, but everything is authentic. It really is you. You're the same person at the Little League game as you are on the phone with a client. Okay, a strong brand is consistent, meaning that it doesn't waffle. You know, if your brand is that you leave no T uncrossed, right? If your brand is that you are absolutely the best detail-oriented person someone could ask for, then that's consistent, and you are always going to market yourself that way. You know, my husband and I are total opposites on this end, because I see the gestalt and he sees details. Okay, so I see big pictures and he sees the details. If we're on a walk, He might, as we walk by a house just after we pass it, say, "What did you think about that window?" And I look at him and go, "What window?" I saw the house. So we can value those abilities in each other, and we're pretty consistent about where we are with that. Your story, your brand has to tell your story. You have to have a strong brand story. And that means how you got here, what the challenges are you faced, what has uniquely qualified you to help people with this. If you're a weight coach, then and you've never had to struggle with weight, people are going to maybe not really relate to you. If you are a copywriter, but you've never written anything, then clearly, you have a story there. So you have to tell the story of how you got here, what you overcame, and then where you are right now, and how you can help others. So that means you're going to have a situation. Okay. My story is I started a business right after I left higher education. Didn't know anything about marketing, didn't know anything about business for that matter. And after about a year and a half, I had to close the doors because I didn't have many clients and I needed to come up with something else. So that's when I went back and I learned about branding and I learned about marketing and I learned all of those things and then reopened my doors. So, the things that I had to overcome, I know what it's like to be worried about, where your next client is coming from or whether you can pay the mortgage. I mean, I know those things. I've been there and I know what it's like to close a business. It's heartbreaking. So that's one of the reasons why I do what I do today. And I've developed a system so that other people can do it too. Okay, so that's a brand story. Your expertise, your strong brand is definitely going to reflect your expertise. And then finally, value. And once again, that value has to be relevant to the problems and challenges of your ideal clients. Okay, now we're getting into the heart of it. Hold on, I have a cough I'm fighting here. All right, there are 10 ways I'm giving you now. There are more than 10 ways to promote your brand. I'm going to give you some places to start. You can create a branded banner and you don't have to pay a graphic designer to do it. Go to Canva, canva.com, canva.com, and enter in the search field LinkedIn, and it's going to come up with some things. And one of those banners are perfectly sized. They will show up exactly right with your video, with your photo. And you can change them. You can have your brand colors. You can put your logo. You can put the name of one of your programs. You can put anything in there. So that's the first thing I would suggest that you do, because what's the first thing people see when they land on your profile? Your banner, right? Okay. Also, you can include your brand statement in your headline. Now, when I come back in a couple of weeks and we do that, Build Your Brand in Bits and Bytes masterclass, that's in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to show you how to do a brand statement. But basically understand that a brand statement says who you help, how you help them, the results they're going to get, and then something that sets you apart. For instance, mine says something to the effect of master personal digital brand strategist, LinkedIn trainer, and expert, get clients in record time. I think at one time I used get more leads without the sleaze. Just something that's going to give people an idea of what sets you apart. Okay, you can promote your brand in your featured section. Now, there are 2 different kinds of profiles that you can have on LinkedIn. One's the basic profile, and I strongly suggest that you start there and get your basic profile really, really right, and then do this second part. You can select creator mode in your dashboard. If you scroll down your profile to your dashboard, you'll see creator mode. Now, what that creator mode does a lot of things, but one of the things it does is it pulls your featured section right up to the top and shows that particular content you want people to see. So you could have one thing might be a free gift. In my case, I might have my LinkedIn roadmap or my profile checklist right there. Another thing can be a short video that you do that explains what your company does. Another thing could be a worksheet that people can download, or a slide deck, or just anything. Or it could be a video testimonial. How's that? Somebody saying right off the bat, this person is great. Here's what she did for me, blah, 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 blah. So, definitely you can promote your brand in your featured section. Engage with insights. Now, that's what we were just talking about, right? A little bit earlier. That's one of the 4 pillars of the social selling index. And when you engage with insights, what do people see? They see your photo and they see your headline. Okay, so that's where you're going to have, like behind mine, it would say master personal digital brand strategist, LinkedIn expert, and on and on. Okay, so that will show up whenever you comment on something. All right, so you are getting your brand out that way. You can record a cover video. Now, this is so cool. That LinkedIn lets you do this. You cannot do it on your desktop. You have to do it on your mobile. So what you do is you download the LinkedIn app, and then you just record, say, take 5 or 6 takes, or 10 or 20, whatever it takes you. But you're going to record a short 30 seconds. This is not long. You've only got 30 seconds video that will tell people a little bit about you. So that video is going to show up where your photo is, where your headshot is in that circle. Now, what that means, and you can see it if you go on my profile, you'll see when you first get on it, you'll see a little movement there. That's the video, and you can click on it and you can watch the video then. This is so great for branding, because people get a sense for what you're like, how you interact with people. And that's really important. They're going to understand your difference. They're going to see a little bit of your personality. They're going to know whether, they really would enjoy talking with you or not. So all of this is promoting your brand. Okay, so you're going to say, hey, thanks for stopping by my profile. If you're a coach or consultant, you're in the right place. I'm Dumont Owen, and I help coaches and consultants get more leads or get clients on LinkedIn in record time. Thanks again for stopping by. So it's going to be very, very casual, but it's really, really powerful. Okay, 6, brand your company page. Now, you may not even have a company page. And in the past, I would have said, okay, it's not that big a deal. It has now become a much bigger deal, because LinkedIn has added all kinds of things to the company page. You can spotlight different programs. You can promote events from your company page, just all different kinds of things that you can do. So you're going to want to carry your brand over to your company page. And once again, you can do that in Canva. You can do a banner there. And you can also design logos in Canva. Okay, produce high quality content. The stuff that people really want to read. They don't need any more crap. Okay, we don't need more crap in the news feed. We've got plenty of that. So, don't add to it. All right. And high quality content doesn't mean that it has to be like a video production. All right. High quality content means that it provides something of value. It's well written. If it's written, it's a video, but it's a short one that people can watch. It's a worksheet that people can download. It's high quality. It doesn't mean that it has to be a professional production. And, one of the things that you can do to promote your brand when you're in creator mode is you can have a newsletter, a LinkedIn newsletter. You can have a podcast on LinkedIn, and you can do what I'm doing right now. You can have a live presentation. Hold on just a second. Okay. Use hashtags strategically. By this, I mean, come up with 3 to 5, I would say 5 things that you consistently talk about. Okay, so and you're going to use those hashtags. Now, if you're in creator mode, it's going to let you put those actually on your profile. But either way, you want to know what your hashtags are, what topics you talk about. So on mine, I have personal branding, I have social selling, lead generation, prospecting, I think. And then my final one is LinkedIn by Dumont, so that, if people want to follow me, that's a unique hashtag they can follow. You don't want to use too many hashtags. Okay. When you publish something, when you post something on LinkedIn, don't put 20 hashtags. That makes it look like you're trying to hit every possible marketing avenue there is. It becomes far less about providing valuable content. People don't perceive it as that. They perceive it as a marketing ploy because you've got every hashtag known to man, on that article. So you're trying to get more people. It's far more effective to use 3 to 5 hashtags. Don't go over that 5 limit. It just starts looking confusing, and it looks a little calculated. Okay, ask and answer questions. When you comment on somebody's article, ask them questions about it or answer questions. When someone comments on yours, answer their question. Keep that dialogue going. That is so important for promoting your brand. And then finally, nurture relationships. And this is absolutely the key to social selling. You want the golden key. That's it. Nurture relationships and nurture them in a way that's based on mutual respect and trust. We are all tired of being spammed. We are all tired of premature sales pitches. Yes, I may want to work with you, but not if you're pitching me all the time. Okay, so learn how to build those relationships based on respect and trust. Can you answer a question? Can you introduce them to someone? What can you do that is going to help advance that relationship? All right, so let's hold on. Before we do this, I'm going to go to right here. Chuck, if you will drop the link to the LinkedIn profile checklist in the chat. This is a great checklist. I put it together. It's just a really easy way to go in and look at the different aspects of your LinkedIn profile and whether they're up to snuff. And when you opt in to get the LinkedIn profile checklist, you're also going to receive some more things, over a period of about a week that will help you even more with your profile. So I'm going to go back here for a second, but and just see if there are any questions. But right now, I'm going to. Okay, and here are, if you want to take a screenshot of this, or I will, these will also be in the information that I send out afterwards. So let me get rid of this. Okay, and get this done. Oh, look. Okay. Drusilla, I'm not sure I understand your question about collaboration. I'm not sure I understand what it is you're asking. Are you asking Well, if it's links about collaborating, well, anytime you have an external link, LinkedIn is going to suppress the reach of that. So, and there are different ways that people have tried to figure this out. One is we all started putting the link in the comments, and said the link is in the comments. Unfortunately, while that does improve the reach of your post, it doesn't do anything to develop a relationship. So in that case, what I usually say is, if you'd like to receive such and such, or if you'd like to know more, comment yes please in the comments, or just leave a comment and I will get that to you. Okay, so Drusilla, I'm going to make sure that you have the right links for that, and that's all set up. Hold on. I'm not seeing that other set, so hold on. I am going to put okay. The link that I'm giving you right now is the right one. So hold on just a second. I'm going to give you all of these links again. Okay, where's the comments? Okay, and I will follow up with you, Drusilla, because I'm not sure what your question is. But definitely, if you're going to go to Collaborate, would you shoot me a message and I'll look out for you? I'll keep an eye out. I will definitely be there. It's something that I don't miss. And it's really going to be exciting this year because they're doing some different things. So very cool. Listen, guys, as always, I enjoy this so much. I'm so glad we got to spend this time together today. And I will make sure that we get this recording out to you before the end of the week. And I will definitely, for each of you, I'm going to make sure that you have the links so that you can make sure you attend. But the links that are in the chat actually are the right links. Okay, listen, thanks. I'm going to stay here just a second to see if we have any more questions. Looks like we're okay. Oh, what's over here? Okay, great. So we've got everything in there. Okay, so okay. Hold on just a second. And okay. All right, listen, guys, if there are no further questions, I'm going to head out. But if you have a question, just reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Dumont Owen there, DUMONTOWEN. Excuse me. Right now, this is Dumont Owen saying ta-ta.